This is the title slide for the scene deconstruction assignment on the Green Book. This is the table of contents, which highlights all the different slides that I will be going over in this presentation. This is the introduction slide. The scene I've chosen is from the movie The Green Book. In this movie, based on a true story, Dr. Donald Shirley is a famous African American musician who's traveling through the racist southern United States to perform as a pianist during the 1960s. His bodyguard is a lower income white Italian man named Tony Lip Vallelonga, who accompanies and protects Dr. Shirley throughout his journey through the South. The movie documents the different struggles and adversity that Dr. Shirley encounters throughout his tour. The specific scene that I will be analyzing is attached below in a YouTube link. Media representation. The cultural issues that are seen in this scene are racism and segregation. Dr. Shirley is being told that he cannot eat in the main dining area with the rest of the people simply because of the color of his skin. The culture group is represented appropriately in this scene. African Americans during the 1960s encountered all different types of racism, segregation, and disrespect. This scene gives a small insight into what Dr. Shirley and many others had to deal with during this time. This scene represents African Americans as powerful, even though the circumstances were against them. At the end of the scene, Tony, the bodyguard, stands up for Dr. Shirley and defends his decision to not play for the racist restaurant as they both walk out together. This scene also has cultural diversity between two people of completely different backgrounds and experiences that interact and end up building a strong bond. This also represents the diversity in the mass amount of people that came together during the Civil Rights Movement during the 1960s to fight the racism and segregation facing African Americans. This is the lessons learned slide. This scene is important to understand how African Americans are represented because it shows some of the treatment that they had to endure. Even though the restaurant treated Dr. Shirley extremely poorly and wouldn't serve him, he still changed his mind and decided to play for them, regardless of their treatment of him. It wasn't until Tony stood up for Dr. Shirley that they both decided to walk out together. Another lesson learned and seen in this scene is that actions can affect many different people in a situation. Not only do Dr. Shirley's actions allow for him to stand up for himself, but it also shows other people witnessing this that these behaviors are unjust and unacceptable. In this movie scene, it showed African American servers observing Dr. Shirley's actions, as well as other people sitting and eating their food. This can empower them to want to believe in change and wanting to help fight the racism and segregation. This is the cultural humility slide. Cultural humility means being open-minded and respectful towards other cultures and beliefs with a non-judgmental attitude. It also involves self-reflection and being aware of your own values and beliefs. You can see cultural humility in this scene through Tony. He witnesses racism happening right in front of him against Dr. Shirley. Tony understands how this makes Dr. Shirley feel and how this goes against Dr. Shirley's beliefs, so he stands up for what he now believes in and helps the doctor. This scene showed me that in order to truly understand another person's culture and beliefs, there must be a mutual respect between the two people. It is also important to understand and acknowledge biases to be able to overcome and move past them. This is the peer-reviewed research slide. The article that I found that was peer-reviewed is called Cultural Humility, a framework for building collaborative relationships with students with diverse cultural experiences. In this peer review article, the author, Jess Johnson, cites that there are three principles of cultural humility: a commitment to ongoing self-reflection, a willingness to remain open and teachable, especially when in positions of power, and an acknowledgement of how social structures and systems shape our reality. Johnson also talks about a study that applied the cultural humility scale to assessing middle and high school students' perceptions of their teachers' cultural humility levels. She writes, in the areas of trust, communication, and alienation, perceived cultural humility was positively associated with teacher-student relationship quality. And these are the references that I used for this assignment.